Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second model test before this upcoming June NET exam. We have in Zoom a lot of our paid students, but this is also a video for all the students out there in YouTube who are watching us now. I have a PowerPoint presentation with me which shows the questions. So it'll be easy for all of you. So let us start. Are you ready, guys? What will be the first question on? Will it be British literature, American literature, or post-colonial literature? Let us see. Ta-dang, The Raven. So it is American literature. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, A-L-L-A-N it should be, was first published in which periodical? The Raven, as all of you know, is a narrative poem by Edgar Allan Poe. He was grieving the death of his wife, Virginia, and he wrote about a student grieving for his sweetheart. And then he's presenting a raven coming into the student's room. The sweetheart's name is Lenore, and the raven is perched on a Pallas's bust. Pallas is a goddess. And for everything, the raven says, nevermore, nevermore. Yes. In which periodical was it published? It was published in 1845 year. You might know this one. It is in New York Evening Mirror. It is in New York Evening Mirror that Poe published his Raven. Okay, so next question to you. A postmodern parody of John Donne's A Valediction Forbidding Mourning was written under the same title by one of these feminist writers who wrote a postmodern parody of John Donne's A Valediction Forbidding Mourning. Do you know, guys? You can answer in the chat box. If you don't know, it's okay. We are learning. It is Adrienne Rich. Remember, guys, Adrienne Rich is a 20th century feminist who wrote the famous essay, Compulsory Heterosexuality and Lesbian Existence. And she also wrote of woman born, motherhood as experience and institution. So in this poem, A Valediction Forbidding Mourning, she's talking about expressing herself through the frozen language of others. The others' language are very frozen. And when she tries to write a poem, she is constrained by the grammar and the, structure that is man-made. So she feels an emptiness inside herself. This is what she says in this poem. So she is framing a poem in her own terms, finally. That is what happens in Adrienne Rich's Valediction Forbidding Mourning. She is talking about feminist themes here. The third question, which of the following is not a work by Ngugi wa Thiong'o? Ngugi wa Thiong'o is a Gikuyu writer from Kenya. Before that, he used to write in English, but now he writes in Gikuyu language, isn't it? Is it Wizard of the Crow, Petals of Blood, Season of Migration to the North, or Weep Not Child? This is easy. Many of you would know that Season of Migration to the North is written by Tayeb Saleh. Ngugi wa Thiong'o started from the theater, and he went on to write novels and poetry and also essays. He has written a lot of important works, as you might know: A Grain of Wheat, River Between. Weep Not Child was a first. Weep Not Child. Njoroge wants to study, but his father is arrested for, the militant activity that his brother did, Boro did. So Njoroge is not getting education at the end. That is Weep Not Child. The River Between is the story of two villages, Camino and Makuyu. Camino and Makuyu. After that came a grain of wheat. And then petals of blood that is given here. As you might know, he wrote Devil on the Cross on prison-issued toilet paper. And Ngugi wa Thiong'o is famous for decolonizing the mind. He has also written many short stories, plays, etc. But his non-fiction is very important. Decolonizing the mind, the politics of language in African literature. He's talking about how English literature and English departments have kind of destroyed African culture and departments. That is what he says in, decolonizing the mind. Did you know, guys, Ngugi wa Thiong'o coined a term, globalectics. Globalectics is the politics of knowing. He coined the word globalectics, the politics of knowing. Okay. Now, the next question. Who is the founder of Tea Table School of Fiction? Tea Table School. It is very genteel fiction. Like drawing room comedy, very genteel fiction. Now you will understand. It cannot be Jonathan Swift. He is not a genteel writer. He is a very cantankerous satirist, isn't it? He will not write Tea Table School of Fiction. Yes. It is Fanny Burney. This is part of the Dr. Johnson's circle. Remember, at the time, Dr. Johnson and his circle were writing, profound changes were taking place in society and literature. There was sentimental fiction. There was the rise of drawing room comedies. And Dr. Johnson himself was a pioneer. He started writing dictionary. He started writing biographical fiction. Remember, Fanny Burney inspired our Jane Austen. Fanny Burney's, Cecilia, Cecilia, Camilla, etc. are important. It is from Cecilia that she took the title Pride and Prejudice. Will you remember that, guys? I'm having fever right now, but I thought I should not mess up with this revision because it might help you. So here is the fifth question. In which of the following novels do we find the protagonist, Tawny Last? Tawny Last is talking about his friends, I think. It is in a early 20th century novel published in 1934. Do you know? It is A Handful of Dust by Evelyn Waugh. It's a satirical comic novel. The protagonist is Tawny Last is an English country squire. It is not about his friends. He joins an expedition to a Brazilian jungle, actually. Why did I say friends? I don't know. He is going on an expedition to a Brazilian jungle. That is very, very important. Which of these novels is set in a Brazilian jungle, they will ask. Evelyn Waugh and Graham Greene both converted to Roman Catholicism and wrote Catholic novels. Evelyn Waugh also wrote Brideshead Revisited. Remember, A Handful of Dust, the title is taken from The Wasteland. Tawny Last. Which of the following concepts is not discussed by Noam Chomsky? Which of the following novels is not discussed by Noam Chomsky? Oh, I gave the answer wrongly. Constructivism. Wrongly, matlab, I didn't ask the question. The answer is here, constructivism. Remember, Noam Chomsky was a mentalist. Noam Chomsky believed that everything is inside your head. Language is inside your head. But constructivism is the opposite. It is like behaviorism. Society is constructing your language. That is the meaning of constructivism. So that is wrong. Constructivism cannot be a concept of, Noam Chomsky. Constructivism is the idea that individuals and students acquire language by understanding and perceiving the society around them. Whereas universal language language acquisition device, linguistic competence. These are all concepts, mentalist concepts of Noam Chomsky, where he is talking about language being an innate cognitivist element of our life. Okay? Which of the following novels can be described as a complex narrative of sin and redemption, which involves black and white South Africans? Black and white South Africans should be there. Sin and redemption should be there. Now you know. David Lurie is seducing his students. All these are works by J.M. Coetzee. And here we have Disgrace, where J.M. Coetzee is depicting David Lurie, an English professor, seducing his student. This won the Booker Prize in 1999. It is one of the two novels that won Booker Prize, written by J.M. Coetzee. The other is Life and Times of Michael K. The Life and Times of Michael K. And this South African professor, it is happening in South Africa, in post-apartheid Cape Town, remember. Yeah. The student that he seduces is called Melanie. The Indian Jugglers is an essay by, this man was a very major essayist. No, it is not Charles Lamb. He wrote lots of essays on going a journey. Indian Jugglers appears in Table Talk, I think. Yes, it is William Hazlitt. William Hazlitt wrote lots of essays. His lectures and essays inspired John Keats. William Hazlitt wrote The Indian Jugglers. You should know William Hazlitt because usually they ask one question from William Hazlitt. Okay, guys, are you ready for the next question now? Which of these education commissions recommended the common school system? The common school system. Which of these educational commissions recommended the common school system? It is a very important, commission of independent India. Their report came in 1966. Now you can tell me which commission's report came in 1966. It is Kothari Commission. Kothari Commission means they recommended the establishment of a common school system. That means children, irrespective of age, class, caste, religion, etc., linguistic background, etc., should be going to school. That is the meaning. At that time, they noted that the present school system came from the West, from the colonizer, and there was no homogeneity in the present school system. So that is why before that, Gandhi had already talked about the basic education system, or Nahi Talim. Kothari Commission integrated those ideas into the common school system. Did you understand, everyone? Is that good? Are you enjoying this quiz? Now we are in question number 10. Annihilation of Caste is a very important work. It's actually an undelivered speech. Who is the author? You might all know this. This is very important. It is B.R. Ambedkar. As you know, Ambedkar was an academic and an important politician. He wrote it in 1936, this speech. And it was a very controversial speech. Annihilation of Caste was a very controversial speech. And it's now a classic and many people are reading it still. Who is the author of the poem? Indian Serenade. Now remember, guys, wherever you have something Indian, it could be important. Indian Serenade. Is it Walt Whitman, Lord Tennyson, P.B. Shelley, or Rudyard Kipling? Because there is Rudyard Kipling here, don't say it is Rudyard Kipling. It is P.B. Shelley. Indian Serenade is a poem where the speaker is addressing his beloved. Okay, remember that. He's not addressing India, but he's addressing his beloved. He talks about a champak tree here. Did you understand? Will you please look through all these important words that I'm mentioning? In case they ask, you will be able to answer. It's a very fine lyric poem, which is very sensual and beautiful. And it shows 19th century Orientalism and exoticism. Many of these canonical writers showed Orientalist elements. Do you know this one? Appetencies and aversions are two types of impulses. According to whom? Appetencies and aversion. Appetencies is a symbol or an impulse that you want. It is like an appetite, but aversion is what you want to discard. Do you know who talked about appetencies and aversions? It is none other than, yes, I.A. Richards. I.A. Richards wrote practical criticism, as all of you know. He was a Cambridge critic, and his practical criticism became very important. In practical criticism, at first, he talked about what are the problems encountered in reading. Why do we misrepresent reading or misunderstand or misread poems? He talks about it. For example, there are difficulties in interpreting meaning. Why there are difficulties? There could be sentimentality. There could be some doctrinal beliefs that you have. There can be some inhibition, etc. Then he went on to talk about other aspects of poetry. He also wrote Principles of Literary Criticism, as you know. Principles of Literary Criticism talks about the value of poetry. What is the value of poetry? It enables the mind to achieve the poise or, structure or order, which it will take too long to get otherwise. Then it is I.A. Richards who talked about two uses of language, the scientific use and the poetic use. And also he talks about 4 kinds of meaning: sense, feeling, tone, and intention. Appetencies and aversions is also a concept by I.A. Richards. Will you remember, guys? Now, next question. Arrange the following works in chronological order. This is not difficult, it is easy. Remember, who are the authors? Order of Things is Foucault. Notes towards the definition of culture is T.S. Eliot. Discipline and Punish is also Foucault, but Order of Things came before Discipline and Punish. Order of Things is one of his earliest works. And Second Sex is Simone de Beauvoir, 1949. You should know that. These came in the 1960s. Foucault came in the 1960s. First Eliot, then Simone de Beauvoir. Eliot says 1948 though. Order of Things came before Discipline and Punish. Like that, some trick will be there. Some little tip, if you get, you will be able to answer correctly. Did you understand, everyone? My fever is bringing down my energy a little bit. I hope you are still enjoying. Which of the following concepts were given by Pierre Bourdieu? Doxa and cultural intermediaries, simulacrum and simulation, schizophrenia and rhizome, bricolier and engineer. Pierre Bourdieu talked about a lot of concepts: habitus and field, cultural capital, cultural intermediaries. Yes, doxa and cultural intermediaries. That is Pierre Bourdieu. Today, somebody asked me in YouTube, can you please explain doxa? That is why I put this question today. Doxa is all the unquestioned, taken for granted ideas. Many ideas we, without questioning, take for granted. They appear as normal. That is called doxa. Doxa is all the apparently normal, unquestioned principles and practices, beliefs and practices. Did you understand? Now, who goes with Fergus? is a lyric poem. Guys, when we have general knowledge from reading books and watching videos and movies, etc., you will get a lot of knowledge that will help you in the exam. For example, who goes with Fergus? You should know Fergus is an Irish name. It is W.B. Yeats. Who Goes With Fergus is a work by is a poem by W.B. Yeats. Who will go drive with Fergus now and pierce the deep woods woven shade? He's talking about the landscape and who will go with Fergus. Fergus is, an ancient poet here. He's an ancient poet, and Yeats in this poem is asking the people of Ireland to follow the principles, the paths that Fergus followed. He's asking, the people of Ireland to follow the principles and path that Fergus followed. Did you understand? That is the meaning of who goes with Fergus. In which of the following works did Roland Barthes advance the concept of meta-language? Did you know, guys, that Roland Barthes talked about a language about language called meta-language? It is, in which work did he talk about it? Do you know, guys? It is Elements of Semiology. This is a structuralist work of Roland Barthes. Remember, Roland Barthes had a structuralist phase and a post-structuralist phase. In the structuralist phase of Roland Barthes, he talked about mythologies, he talked about structures, he talked about meta-language, and then later he wrote post-structuralist work, starting from Death of the Author. Remember these titles also: Writing Degree 0, The Rustle of Language, Image, Music, Text. They're all important. Will you remember, guys? And here Roland Barthes is talking about semiology, remember. Semiology is a concept propounded by Ferdinand de Saussure. Charles Sanders Peirce talked about semiotics and Saussure about semiology, the science of science. The gift, forms and functions of exchange in archaic societies. This is a very founding text of postmodernism. Postmodernism was based on texts by Nietzsche, George Bataille, and Marcel Mauss. Marcel Mauss wrote The Gift, Forms and Functions of Exchange in Archaic Societies. That means in many ancient societies, there was the practice of gift exchange, exchanging gifts and reciprocity. How Marcel Mauss is analyzing how this can be read as a text. This practice or ritual of gift exchange can be looked at as a text. So Marcel Mauss is looking at the history of gift exchange. He's talking about how gift exchange actually defines a culture. Did you understand? That is Marcel Mauss's The Gift. You should remember this. They have already asked in net. It's a PYQ. Now, guys, are you enjoying this? Please tell me in the chat box. I'm so happy to see all of you answering. This is wonderful. God bless you all. You will remember a lot in the exam. You should not forget that Sigmund Freud has said that the ego is only 10%. What matters is the unconscious mind. In your unconscious mind, all these topics are there already. You don't have to worry. Look at the 18th question. The pain of parting is nothing to the joy of meeting again. Today, some of our offline students were saying goodbye and going. Our Fiona, she is a very sweet girl from Tamil Nadu. She said, ma'am, I'll miss you. I'm going back home to write the exam. I said, the pain of parting is nothing to the joy of meeting again. Fiona, we will meet again. You can write this in people's autograph books. It is from which novel? It is from Nicholas Nickleby. As you know, Dickens first wrote Pickwick Papers, then came Oliver Twist, then came Nicholas Nickleby. The Life and Adventures of Nicholas Nickleby is the third novel of Charles Dickens. Remember, Nicholas Nickleby is going to study and work at Dotheboys Hall, where Wackford Squeers is a headmaster. His uncle Ralph Nickleby is torturing him. And Nicholas Nickleby runs away with Smike. Remember all that? And Smike ultimately turns out to be the son of Ralph Nickleby. And at this, Ralph Nickleby commits suicide. Eventually, Nicholas Nickleby marries Madeline Bray. Dash is a novel by Disraeli, Benjamin Disraeli, tracing the plight of the working class of England. I'm sorry for the grammar mistakes. I should have read more carefully. Dash is a novel by Disraeli, tracing the plight of the working class of England, which is the novel Condition of England novel. It is there in our encyclopedia. Guys, do you all have our encyclopedia? 60% of questions will come directly from encyclopedia, even though you say that many questions are not coming from British literature. Remember, in British literature, you get literary terms also. You should all have a copy of our 4 encyclopedias. The 5th encyclopedia will come soon. Okay. So Dash is a novel by Disraeli, which is at Sibyl or the Two Nations. It is part of Young England trilogy. Sibyl or the Two Nations is part of Young England trilogy. Okay. That is very, very important. Social novel or Condition of England novel or industrial novel. And the last question is the title of the novel, The Summer Bird Cage by Margaret Drabble. It is the first novel by Margaret Drabble, published in 1963. Do you know where this title is taken from? Is it John, 4 Johns are there. Keats, Donne, Milton, Webster. A Summer Bird Cage. A summer, not the summer. It is A Summer Bird Cage. That is the question. That is the novel. And it is taken from, title is taken from John Webster's White Devil. John Webster's White Devil. There are 2 sisters in A Summer Bird Cage, Sarah and Louise. They are the 2 sisters in Summer Bird Cage. Remember that. Margaret Drabble is the sister of A.S. Byatt. She has written many novels centering on women characters. Okay, guys. So all the best to all of you. I will be back with more. I hope you enjoyed this session. You should tell me in the chat box whether you enjoyed or not. If there is something you need, etc., just tell me in the comments. I will bring those topics, etc., tomorrow to you. Okay, there are a couple more days before the exam. We will do our best. You should not worry. You should not panic. You should have only positive thoughts. Remember, you have studied better than ever before. So much you have studied. So relax, enjoy your studies in the last days also, and then go write the exam bindas. No stress at all. My students who are trained by me should not be stressed, okay? I don't want that because there is no reason for you to get stressed. So relax, pay attention to paper 1, do all the quizzes you have and we are giving you. All right? Be in touch. Bye-bye. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't. We will be bringing you more awesome videos.